looking so good right now. And this is my favorite time of the year. And if you saw our earlier video, you know that we were selling our house. We did find a buyer who is actually going to maintain the garden and the chickens and live a sustainable life. We're very, very excited about that. We were praying for someone who wanted that. And here we are. So we are like still gardening like never before, and actually having fun also imagining what our next homestead is going to be like. So right now, tomatoes, lots of tomatoes, lots of volunteer tomatoes this year, which is always really fun. And I love the volunteer tomatoes. They always turns out to be sometimes the best. The fruit is coming in, which is my favorite time. So like the apples are looking so beautiful this year. We're having lots of peaches, lots of nectarines. There's more citrus coming in. So I think it's going to be the third crop of this year. So it's going to be a good year, I think that. Rhubarbs are looking beautiful. It looks so sad for a while. And it's kind of funny because we've been having this weird weather. It's been really, really hot and then really, really cold. So it's been really strange. So some things like lettuce and broccoli bolted early. So we didn't get as much broccoli as we usually get, and we're still actually eating up last year's broccoli. Figs are coming in, the peaches are coming in, the grapes are coming in. It looks like it's going to be a record year of grapes. And I'm hoping that they will come in and be edible before we have to leave this house. Lots of carrots, and we also have, this is really exciting, a pumpkin. Well, actually 2 pumpkins growing. And these are Liam's pumpkins. Go back, if you haven't seen that video of Liam's pumpkins, you should go check that out. So Liam, when he was 4 or 5, he wanted to grow pumpkins. So he went to our mentor and he asked for some pumpkin seeds, and he gave him 6 pumpkin seeds. His name was Bill Tall, Farmer Bill, he's known as. And he was our mentor. Sadly, Bill passed away last year from cancer, and he's greatly missed. But how beautiful it is that Liam's, the 6 pumpkin seeds that he gave Liam, is now every year giving us pumpkins that we harvest, and then we save them until October or Halloween, and we cut them. So, but they came up a little early this year. I don't know if it's the weather or something, and I don't think that they're going to make it all the way to October. This year I planted a lot of zucchini because I actually we plant from seed, and a lot of them actually made it, but it looks like we're going to have a huge zucchini year, which is a good problem to have in my opinion. So we're going to have a heat wave tomorrow, so we're mulching. Our garden is a zero-waste garden to begin with, so we don't bring anything in. And why spend money on compost or mulch when there's those things you can actually make yourself? So I get grass clippings from the neighbors across the street here. They mowed the lawn yesterday and they don't spray, so I know that. And we have lots of leaves from the last storm that we had, and we also have a little bit of straw actually. There's leftovers from the chickens, so we're going to use that too. That's what we're using for mulch. As simple as that. So right now we're harvesting lots of onions, and we are curing those onions so they will last us all year. And I'm going to show how we cure onions. Actually, Jim's going to show you how to cure onions. And we also harvested lots and lots of cabbage. So I'm going to actually be fermenting some cabbage and making some sauerkrauts. And I have some yellow beets also. So I think I'm going to make like a, with a little bit of turmeric and make it like a yellow sauerkraut. So someone actually sent me a message and asking me if, because they heard that Los Angeles is having a watering ban on the gardens. And I heard that that is possible, that it can happen here in San Diego too, because we're having a drought, and it is also the weather levels are going really, really low. It's not so fun to be a gardener in a desert climate like we are. So we do a lot of smart watering. And so how we reduce water, we actually use extremely little water in our garden. So obviously a rainwater harvest is a very good solution to that, because well, whenever it rains, it will fill up your barrels. And it seems like it doesn't rain here enough, but when it does rain, it rains, so you will have water for a good time. But also we use gray water from our outdoor kitchen and from our laundry machine, and that will actually water all our fruit trays. So that's how we say moderate water X. Because what you want to do is make sure is to protect the roots of your plants. You don't want them to get too hot. So we do a couple of things to reduce our water use in the garden. It is that we compost a lot. And we build our own compost. You can actually see the compost bin there. That is James' homemade worm bin. We have the garden compost, and then we also have bokashi compost that we bury directly into the boxes. And that will actually reduce the need for water, but also the mulching, like I said, leaves and grass clippings will keep the soil cool and also reduce the need for water, and also adds a lot of nutrients to it. So it's like a win-win situation, and it's free, like I said. The other one we do is we provide some shade, and you can see the structure we have here. We actually have like a little roof that we can add over when it gets really hot during the month, and we can bring it down also, so to protect and provide some shade. And we also have some fiber cloths that we also cover the beds with when it gets really, really hot. A little bit extra work, but it really does work, and it does really reduce the use for water. And we only water in the evening when it's cool. We actually have compared to our water use in our house when one person lived here with grass, lawn, compared to us 5 people living here with a garden, and we use 2/3 less water than one person with a grass. So this is the reason.
We grow a lot of onions. First, because they're really easy to grow and we can store them all winter long. The trick is to cure them. So I'm going to walk you through that, but let's actually just talk about when it's the right time to pick them. What you're looking for is these bulbs to get nice and moist, and for this part of the onion to really fall over. So you're not looking for this. This doesn't mean they're ready, but when they fall over towards the stem, then you're really ready to pull these out. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to wash them or clean them. You want to leave some of the dirt on. So to cure onions, the goal is to get the moisture out of the stem and out of the roots, because if there's moisture in there, when you're storing it, it'll mold. So the way we get the moisture out is we lay it flat on a plate like this in the sun for at least 2 to 3 days. And then once you see this getting really dry, what you're going to do is you're going to take some scissors and you're going to cut right here, about 1 inch from the bulb, and you can kind of take these off. Then you're going to move this into a dry, well-ventilated place out of the sunlight. That's the key. Then about 2 to 3 weeks, they'll be cured. Then they don't have to be laid flat anymore. Then you can kind of stack them up and store them where you wish, but make sure you keep them out of the direct sunlight. And once the curing process is done, just store them in a dry, dark place, and they'll last all winter. And we actually just finished eating the onions that we had cured from last winter, so they really do last a long time.
I hope this video was helpful. Follow us on this new adventure in finding our next forever home, we hope, and our next homestead. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment as always. Bye!